So the Ravens have backed out of the Max Crosby deal.
What? He didn't pass the physical?
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Hold on. Now we'll go because we both just got the ESPN notification.
What? No.
From ESPN. We just couldn't find the thing.
He didn't pass the physical.
So the Raiders put out a statement. This is from Adam Schefter on his Twitter saying that the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Max Crosby. We will have no further comment at this time.
Oh, my God.
Oh, the dumpster fire is back, baby.
Wow.
It is back.
Crazy.
Undefeated commitment to excellence. The Los Angeles Raiders of Oakland, Las Vegas have somehow done it again.
Clark County.
That is unreal.
Oh, it's beautiful.
When was the deal was done on Friday, right?
Yes.
It's Tuesday night. That's a long time.
So you think it's that he didn't pass the physical?
Has anybody? I'm
Trudell,
looking
how
for
long
it
was
right
it
now.
when the Lakers made the deal to send
Mark Andrews.
Dalton Connect for Mark Williams.
How long was it from that till when they said, "Oh, by the way, we're not doing
like
it"?
a day, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
it
was
seems like
quick.
a
It was fast.
long time for the okay. We're in agreement.
Yeah.
Let's get our medicals in order. I mean, that's you're talking Saturday, Sunday, all day, Monday, all day too. That's 4 full days.
And does it shine, DeMarco? Does it shine more light on why the Raiders would have been willing to trade them if they thought he was banged up to that degree?
Well, I mean, look, if he's your guy and you know what sort of injury he has and you know he can play through it, it doesn't bother you. But another team coming in and you see the same X-ray, MRI, whatever, I don't know. This guy's got 3 years left or a year left. That's it. So that's the only thing I could think of versus him slapping ownership or something that would make you rescind a trade like that. It's got to be something health-wise.
And by the way, Adam Schefter of ESPN reporting that, which is the graphic from the Raiders saying that they have backed out. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back, and hopefully ESPN can shed something that we can pot up here in a few minutes. But amazing. Oh, it's so good.
Just real quick, Chris, before we go. The Raiders backed out or the Ravens backed out?
This is saying, according to Adam Schefter, let me pull it up one more time because I just had it.
It says the Baltimore
Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Max Crosby.
Yeah.
We will have no further comment at this time.
Narrowing
but it's just
up the
very
spine.
Raiders-esque that this would happen.
Is.
And it's so joyous.
It's pretty wild.
Big thoughts?
Well, first of all, I just went through a whole thing going on the morning show about the Raiders are doing everything right. They're doing it perfectly. They saved all this cap money.
They're acting like a normal team.
Yeah, they're acting like a real team. Thank you very much.
They had a perfect call.
Everything was going the right way. They were going to sign Mendoza. They would have all these draft picks, 11 draft picks. They were still under the cap. And now look what they're doing. They're just something fell apart here. It's not. Well, no. Well, kind of. It might be, especially if it's because of a physical.
The Ravens rescinded. So I mean, the Raiders can't help that. They said no.
Well,
they may have found something.
They should know what is going on with Max Crosby.
Well, but if you can make the deal, you'd make the deal, and he gets there, and their doctors are not your doctors. Their thoughts are not your thoughts. If they saw something they didn't like, deal over. Just like the Lakers.
Yeah, it was very much like Dalton.
Yeah, doesn't happen often.
But that's not the Raiders' fault. Yeah,
it doesn't happen often. But I'm with DeMarco that this is they finally got a chance. Whatever that Max Crosby got back from vacation or whatever, wherever he was unavailable to get seen by the Ravens people. They finally got to see him. They finally got to do imaging. They finally got to do the things where they yank on your ankles and knees and all that. And they're like, wait, this is a problem. And I understand. And the Raiders didn't do anything wrong. The Ravens didn't do anything wrong. It's just the first question that comes back to my mind is, can he go back? I know that he is back, but don't they have to trade him again? Don't you have to see if there's somebody else that will take him?
You have to go find another trade partner.
Go back to Dallas.
Like you have to go back into the trade market. And now all of a sudden, by the way,
the price just went down.
Damn right it did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was it? 2 firsts. And
so now
2 firsts.
Jerry's 1 and 2 that he offered might come to fruition.
Jerry might get lucky here, or
That's what I'm
just
saying.
keep him.
Like the price.
I don't think he can just keep him now.
I don't think he can either.
Actually,
you can though.
If the price stays the same, you can absolutely because you wanted the picks anyway.
But you're not going to move him for less. They actually took a discount off this from everything that they got. Remember what? Dallas got for the player that went up to Green Bay.
Micah Parsons.
Thank you. What they got for him, it was supposed to be about the same type, and I think there was 3 or 4 draft picks for him and a player. So the fact that they went down to just 2 number 1 overall picks, or not overall, but 2 first-round picks, that's actually going down. So now if you're that is going to go down even further. Why not just hold on to him? That's $35 million.
Unless the Raiders are as smart as you think they are, and he's damaged. Like you may have fleeced Baltimore and sent them a damaged product, and they found it. So if you know this guy is a ticking time bomb, he's about to get hurt for whatever they failed him on,
You just take whatever you can get.
Whatever you get for him is good.
Yeah, Greg, on behalf of the Minnesota Vikings,
So
we are prepared to offer you a 6th-round pick and a 4th-round pick.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
Laura has some more information.
Okay.
So Schefter quote tweeted something that says, "Well, it's not just players that can change their minds; teams can too. But clearly, there is a reason a Max Crosby still had to take and pass a physical coming off a significant knee injury."
That's what I thought. I was looking. He missed time last year, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he missed time at the end of the year, and then they sat him because he wanted to go back and play. He wanted to keep going and play, and they're like, "No, you're going to back out." And that's where the whole thing fell apart. He wanted to play. They said no. And then he's like, I want to be traded because you're not playing me as part of it.
Yeah, he wants to go, and it's the tough guy thing. I want to play for my football team. And they could probably say, you know what? You're injured. Your knee is bad. You shouldn't play.
So
it's time for you to come out.
The problem is that they just made a whole bunch of moves based on him not being there.
Okay, is that irresponsible? Like, I know that, like, to your point, Trudell, what just happened where the Ravens basically said, oh, by the way, we got a chance to look at this. We're out. It's very, very rare. But don't you kind of have to wait till it's all said and done, so the contracts are faxed back and forth or signed, sealed, and delivered before you start making other moves and start spending money that you expect to have? Because even if you're 99% of the way done, it's not done.
Right. No, I see what you're saying.
Don't you have to wait?
You probably should, but it happened like you guys are talking about. It happened on Friday.
Yeah.
It's now Tuesday. So you pretty much think at that point, okay, everything's going to be fine, going to go through, especially by Monday. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You think that it's basically done.
No, he's probably in Aruba, though. You know?
Yeah, he's out of pocket.
Yeah,
he's
and he came back.
It's more common than you think. It's just not high-profile dudes. Like, guys get rejected all the time.
So
you show up as a free agent and you take the physical, and, like, we love you, but your MRI looks bad. So guys get rejected a lot.
Not as much in a trade though, right?
Not in the trade, but it does happen where like guys that aren't as high profile as Max Crosby, they get rejected constantly because of medical. That's a no. We can't have that.
I can't wait to see what the Raiders do next. I think that, look, if this is dead in the water, and it looks like it is, now what?
You're going to have to hire an extra cap guy.
You got it.
You still got $90 million. You can still pay him.
You can still. I'm not worried about them being able to pay him.
The money's there.
They clearly want to move on. That he was obviously willing to go. That this was something that is, once we've moved on, even if it wasn't official, like, we've all kind of gone on to our next relationship, and now you got to walk back in the house. That's weird.
If it's for one first, I'd just keep him, employ him, and play him.
Yeah, he's under contract for the next 3 years. And I don't think that the Raiders necessarily wanted to move off of him. He wanted to move off of the Raiders.
He probably still does.
And he probably still does. But he's also said that he wanted to come back and he wanted to retire a Raider. There's a lot of things that are still there. So you still have you're about $80 million still under the cap right now. That $35 million takes a giant chunk out of it, which they're going to do other things, especially for offensive line, which is very important.
But if he were completely healthy, you would be paying him anyway.
I get it. But
Diana Rossini is reporting on Twitter that Max Crosby did not pass his physical today.
Yeah. Okay.
The Ravens get their first-round picks back.
Yeah.
But that changes the Ravens.
The reason I can't even talk. The reason that the Raiders made the trade was that they are getting ready for the future. They are getting ready for what's beyond. They don't. I don't want to say they don't want him in the sense that he's still a very good player, but they clearly want the picks. They want the future more than they want the player. And now that they've kind of showed their cards that they're willing to do it, I think you have to move him.
So either move him.
I think you have to move him for and by Trudell's point, the price just got cut dramatically.
See, and I don't think
my
you can
offer's still on the table, Greg.
I'm
you
listening, but
you
I'm
might be able to talk me into a third and a fifth.
For Max Crosby?
I'm just trying to mess with you.
I know. But
you would get the Cal
that
Raleigh
was
from me.
All right,
Okay,
fine. A fourth and a third final offer.
Is there
Cal Raleigh.
Is there a world that now, because of all this stuff, you just lost out on this? So your first first round picks. You say, okay, look, obviously we want you. We love you as a Raider. However, you need to restructure your contract because we just did everything based on the idea that you're gone. We signed 2 linebackers. We traded for a cornerback.
I'm Max Crosby. My response is that's not my problem.
I would say no.
Yeah.
See you in training camp.
I love that Jerry now comes out of the corner.
Right.
I told you.
Out of the darkness
Here
in a
he
silk
comes.
robe. And you just hear the music playing.
Hey, you
like
remember when
an
I had
interview with a vampire.
Remember when I had a 1 and a 2 on the table there? Let me do my Jerry. Hey, remember when I had that 1 and that 2 on that table there? How about we say just the 2, partner?
Exactly.
How about we do it for a 2? How do you like that?
I would say
How
shove
about
it.
them
Like, absolutely
Cowboys?
not.
Right.
If they do the 1 and the 2 again, they probably go ahead and do that.
They'd be idiots.
Jerry's
not
not
to.
putting a 1 up there now. He's
No,
going to put a 2 up there.
Wait.
He's damaged goods
Yeah.
now.
Why
Like,
would you do
the word's
that?
out.
So then why don't
just
you just
go
keep
sign
him?
Trey Hendrickson if you want a pass rusher?
No.
If you're
He's
Jerry.
older. Oh, Jerry. Yeah, that's
If
fine.
you're Jerry,
Wait,
just
guys,
go sign him.
or Baltimore for that matter.
Versus signing the guy that you know has an injury history.
Well,
What a
hasn't he
mess.
also led the NFL in snaps for
Crosby?
X? Yeah,
Yeah,
for like
he's
X
been
number of
balling.
years.
I think you're going to be
he
stuck with him.
barely misses time.
But
Like,
but I'm saying from an opposing team standpoint, from a mileage standpoint, that's what I'm saying. Like he's been amazing, but you could say, well, yeah, but he's also been on the field for more than anybody in the last X amount of years, right? Not missing snaps. Like, it's a risk
Any team
Yep.
that gets him is going to be better for it. And
in
like
the
you
short
said,
term, but
Maybe not the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not the Raiders.
I just wonder what they're going to do now because it completely changes your entire offseason. I do think that him being a Raider, I never wanted to move off him. I wanted him to stay here, stay as a Raider because of what he can do on the defensive
I
line.
thought you'd
and
be
the,
happy.
the biggest thing that is missing at this point, outside of maybe another offensive lineman, is more on your defensive line. So if you're going to bring back Maxx Crosby and have him so he's double teamed, triple teamed, it's now becoming a line that is also your defense is basically fixed at this point. If you leave Maxx Crosby, unless this injury is way, way worse, and maybe it's something that's down the line, a couple years down the line, or it's something that's right now. We just don't know what it is.
I couldn't speculate on what it is, but
Right.
if it was bad enough for the Ravens, because
It's a knee.
I would imagine there was a long, hard meeting with someone in Baltimore with all the stuff like, hey, how big of a deal is this?
It's a knee.
That's what I'm saying.
You're on
But-
borrowed time.
Right. It must be pretty darn bad for them to back out of it.
Could be, or just like we don't like the way this looks, and to our knowledge, to our history, this means you got 2 years left. Same with Todd Gurley back in the day. With the way his X-rays look, you got 5 years before he falls off a cliff, and he did.
Yeah.
With this knee, with this X-ray, from our history, he's got 2 years max, and that's it.
Well, it changes your draft strategy. You definitely have to go more offensive line, maybe another wide receiver, but you don't have to go as much on defense now because your line is strong, your linebacker is strong, your cornerbacks are strong. You have a good safety. I think the defense is now basically good. It's about fixing that offensive line fully.
On
Greg,
paper.
I was just pulling up like some of the trade grades, right? And so is it Raiders sign edge, a Quiddy pay, 3 years, $48 million
Yeah,
grade.
that one's
D
that's F.
plus.
Yeah, no, that one's not that good.
And then here's the
That
summary.
was a lot of money for him too, but they think that he could be better. He still averages 6 sacks a year.
Well,
The Raiders didn't
Quiddy
even do
Pay,
anything wrong
he's a
here,
good
but
player.
it's
He is a
still
good player.
Raidering.
That's just an
Like,
overpay.
they actually didn't. They tried to trade their guy. They didn't. Assuming they were above, they were honest operators.
But were they?
But they have to know that they're going to do their own medicals. There's no way they're going to take their word for it. They're going to look. So you have to be. It's one of those things. If I'm trying to
Something
sell you
scared
my car and you say, "Hey, how does it run?" I'm going to be mostly honest because you're going to say, I want to go have my mechanic look at it. If the thing's leaking oil all over the place, you're going to come back and say, no way.
You know what
Right,
a good
you do your
example of
own
this
due
is?
diligence first.
A good example would be who's the guy you said you compare to Skeens? He's the same size. Detroit.
Hendrickson. Hutchinson. I'm sorry.
Hutchinson.
Yeah.
So with that leg, most teams would fail him.
Yeah.
To them, it's okay. We'll pay you.
Right.
You're our guy. But
Right.
to someone else that doesn't know you, once you see that X-ray, oh hell no, we're not paying you. Does that make sense? With the way his knee is with the Raiders, we know you. You're tough. To the Ravens, probably scared the hell out of
So
him.
if you're the Raiders,
The last thing you want to do is bust out with a big trade if you're the Ravens. Anything that looks suspicious, no. Send
Especially
it
a
back.
deal that they typically don't make.
Absolutely.
The Ravens don't make deals like that.
Anything that makes you
they
nervous,
still don't, I
rescind the
guess.
trade.
Do you guys think the Vikings are going to make an acquisition?
Kyler Murray.
They're
Yeah, you got
one
Kyler
of,
Murray.
They're
Yeah,
one of like
buckle
14.
up.
Oh yeah, Kyler Murray.
Got a pretty
Congratulations.
good roster, though. You don't
the
need
Kyler
much.
Murray, J.J. McCarthy quarterback battle for the ages.
Yeah.
That's something that you can get excited about.
What do you think you need?
The
in Minnesota?
Raiders were like the champions of free agency for 24 hours.
They were.
It was an amazing
absolutely-
moment for you.
I was smiling. I was walking. You even said it.
This-
I'm
this
walking around with a little
yeah.
pep in my step.
This morning we dedicated like an hour of content to the
Oh,
Raiders,
God,
and
it
now
was
it's
so good.
tomorrow will be like
Look how happy,
Destruction
look how
on the
happy
Raiders.
you are.
Well, he just likes chaos.
I do
look
like
at
chaos.
Look how
happened-
happy you are.
Like, if this happened to the 49ers, you'd be like, well, that's weird.
yeah.
But
That
with,
sucks.
but with
With
the
the
Raiders,
Raiders,
it's
it's,
like,
oh my God.
they did it again. They really didn't even do anything
They didn't
wrong.
do anything.
Everything
They
that I was
made the
thinking,
deal.
everything I was thinking about this team was John Spytek is doing everything right. He's walking
still
around
is.
like a typical team, a winning team, a winning franchise. And this kind of happens. But to Travis's point, Don't you do your own due diligence? Don't you give them a physical
knew.
before you? So they knew. You think for
Well,
sure
that's
they knew.
that's part of the reason why they were wanting to trade him.
He's got the medical history. If they accept him, so be it.
And most teams don't actually call that bluff. So
I mean, I would bet this: if it was Harbaugh still there, the deal is done. I think
you think
he
you
goes.
could keep him?
He goes. He's okay. He's a good player. We can get through this.
Here's another.
that's true. You have like a coach that has that kind of power,
Absolutely.
who's been there forever. He
Yes.
could overrule. Yeah,
Take him.
yeah.
Forget that.
We've been talking about this from the Raiders' perspective. Here's an interesting perspective. It says Crosby's been in Baltimore for the past couple of days in anticipation of the deal becoming finalized at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Now there will be no deal, and the Ravens, who have already lost 9 unrestricted free agents while signing 1, are in an even bigger hole. Like we're laughing about the
Yeah, 'cause
Raiders.
there's no players left for them to sign.
Everybody moved.
Yeah.
All the
Ravens
guys that
screwed
you
the
want,
pooch.
that have moved on.
Yeah,
and
it
now
hurts both
you
teams.
get your picks back, but you've lost 9 guys. You've only added 1. The big acquisition that you had is now down the road or back on the same road where he came from. Like, they're the ones that are actually in a worse spot than the Raiders.
Lamar's kind of off the hook.
So this is funny. Like
That's interesting, too.
This guy Jonathan Jones, who is something he said, Max Crosby posted a photo from Baltimore today. He was coming off a knee injury, so everyone knew he was coming off a knee injury that required surgery. And trades aren't official, obviously, but everybody knew that he was having surgery on his knee. The Ravens knew he was having surgery on his knee. Why? They're just like, okay, well, no. Now we're going.
maybe
like
there was
said,
more.
He's in Aruba.
There had to be.
There's
But
reports.
you knew there was going to be surgery.
But when you see him, if he's limping or if he lost weight, if there's atrophy, if there's something you don't like, you would say no. But you have to see the guy.
It's simply the MRI. Like they saw in the doctors, they can't share with other organizations just for HIPAA, like what they see anyway. So
what do you search?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is there like a lemon law in the NFL? In other words, what it is, like, they just woke up this morning and said, you know what? We don't like this deal at all. And get him in here. Let's do the MRI. That right there. That looks like crap. Fail the deal.
Yeah.
Scuttle the deal. Like, there's nothing there.
But
seems
it's
less
screwing
likely
them at the same time.
Yeah, based on what you just said about how they lost 8 players and now there's nobody else to say. I don't think you do a deal like that unless you really want to do it. I think you're totally sure when you do it, and the one thing that can flip that on its head is the medical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just have to believe that's the case.
Anything on the medical that you want to find?
Well, yes, but if it jumps out, like you've got you got coaching, you got this, you got the financial side, and you've got the doctors. And the doctors say no. Like, we're going to make this move on Max Crosby. How do you feel, coaches? He's one of the greatest players. We're going to be better. Financially, can we do it? Absolutely. Books say we can do it. Sign the guy. Doctors, what do you think? I don't know, man. That knee looks bad. We could be sitting here trying to pay this guy $30 million and he plays 10 games for us.
Yeah.
Do you really want to make this choice in your first year as a coach in a new direction? No, rescind the trade. That makes sense. But if I'm the Raiders, if you can't get what you want, the entire value of trading Max Crosby is what you were getting back for him. If you get anything less than a miracle, keep him. He's a hell of a player.
I agree with you. And the Raiders are one of the only teams that can actually just absorb it right back and still have a lot of cap space. If I'm looking at Spotrac correctly just like a few hours ago, they'll, even with this of losing about $30 million in cap space, they'll still have $50 million in cap space and 10 draft picks.
And even if he doesn't, like you said, I want out of Oakland or out of Las Vegas, that will go away.
Okay.
We're paying you a ton of money.
Just a question. Could you, let's say you're a team like the Ravens, or I guess to a different extent, the Raiders now, could you acquire, just like basically trade more future draft picks for current draft picks and just load up on more young guys? Or is it's too, well, like to fill all, so the Ravens lost 8 guys of free agency. They didn't sign any free agents.
There's more guys out there to sign.
Well, but maybe not ones that they like or that they think are worth the money.
What choice do you have? That's what I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Can you draft more guys, or can you just not get there in the money?
No, I think what you wind up doing is some of those guys that are sitting on the street become way more attractive because everybody's gone and you need help.
So you're just signing somebody because you have to sign somebody.
Well, I mean, Trey Hendrickson is a guy. I keep bringing him up. He's an excellent pass rusher, but he's a little bit of an overpay. Now you might say, I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay the freight because we have no one.
So when this started, it felt like you were like, crap. Now it feels like you're talking yourself into it, that it's not the end of the world.
I'm a Raider fan.
No,
I talk myself into these things all the time.
As the only person in this room that is a Raider fan, are you, now that the shock of it is kind of settled a little bit, are you in a worse place than you were 10 minutes ago?
So, no. I mean, as long as he actually can play this year, I'm not in a worse place. again, I did not want to move him. I was fighting to keep him on the team. And you were telling me, you cannot have your most expensive player be on the defensive side of the ball. Said it over and over again. I listened.
With a rebuilt team.
With a rebuilt team.
A team that's rebuilding with a rookie coach.
But what they have done in free agency, he just kind of adds to the defense now, and you can absorb it, and you can still have cap space, and you still have 10
just slows
picks.
the rebuild.
It does slow it down a little bit, but it also it kind of helps it at the same time, because now your defensive line.
I keep going back to what he said, though, last week, which was by the time the Raiders are good, Max Crosby will not be.
Especially with
by the time Mendoza
it's the Warriors' two timelines thing.
There you go. And that, which is virtually impossible to do.
That was nice.
To be able to
You've
get
been going to the Greg Bergman School of Content?
And to get those guys, the picks that you're going to get 2 this year, 2 next year, those guys are on the same timeline as Mendoza. Max Crosby is not.
No, but this is a league that you can go worst to first, and it happens very, very, very often.
So everybody but the Raiders.
I'd love to go to first.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, no,
be great.
It's so good.
But they're
often does
doing
that really
things
happen?
differently.
A lot.
Okay, it happened
Worst
last year.
to first?
It happened to
Having the Patriots last year.
Okay.
pitch and
before that.
also the Bears last year.
Yeah.
Definitely
That's not
better.
the first.
Definitely more
In
than
their
any other
division.
league, though,
Division.
for sure.
Fair enough. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Super Bowl.
No,
Division's
yeah,
fine.
division.
There
Yeah,
you go.
division. It's just
Calm
getting to the
down. We're doing a
playoffs.
radio show here. Greg Bergman School of Content.
Anyway, go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can still get to that space here, and it's all going to depend on your draft. Now you don't have to even think about the defensive side of the ball when it comes to the draft. Now you're just thinking about offensive line.
Yeah, but wait a
and you're
minute.
thinking,
Don't you feel bad that 30 million of cap space?
I have to do it.
Don't you feel bad
Oh,
that
my
30 million of cap space goes up for a guy with a bad knee?
Yes.
So
I mean,
Yes.
So you're saying you don't have to worry about the defensive side of the
Wait,
ball.
wait,
What if
hold
that
on.
knee gives
So,
out?
okay, but I
No,
also
no,
think
wait. Max Crosby could get healthy, and he's going to. And he
A
could make-
team just denied his physical.
right now, and he could get healthy and make the Ravens look twice as dumb
Well,
is
by
that-
balling out.
Yeah, and LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka could figure out how to play together,
no.
but some things just
LeBron-
won't happen.
LeBron is
Sorry,
older.
Trudell, that was just too
Max
right there.
Crosby, even through a bad knee, is still effective, and he's going to get healthy. So he could make the Ravens look really silly by rescinding the trade.
he
by how he
could.
plays.
Are we missing the human factor a little bit too, though? Like him going back to the team
Yes.
that clearly.
You'll
And,
get
and
over
I'm not
it.
saying he's the type of guy that's not going to give full effort,
He's
but
a
like,
human
is he
being.
going to want to lead the NFL in snaps again?
You'll get over it as a pass rusher.
Yeah.
You're an island unto yourself anyway. Look at Myles Garrett. It does not matter. All you do is rush the passer and destroy stuff.
Crosby did strike me as the guy that wanted to be on a good team. That going to the Ravens and an opportunity to compete for a title, an opportunity to compete for a division title, an opportunity to go to the postseason. Like, he hasn't really got a chance to do much of that with the Raiders.
And you
so
may
Feel
have
bad-
to
yeah,
ex-
yeah, I
you
feel
may
bad
have
for
to
him.
I do too.
Yeah.
You may have to accept your fate, but it's not going to make him slow down
No, I don't
because
think he's
that
gonna
costs
slow
you money.
down, but it could be one of these. Listen, man, I know that this is weird. You got to find another place to send me.
I think what's
Hold on,
going to
he
happen
also
is,
he also left on good terms. So when he left, he went up to John Spytek and Tom Brady and said, "I want to go," and they said, "Okay, we'll make it happen for you." They got him into a winning situation.
Yeah.
So him coming back, it's not because he has a bad relationship with the Raiders or the bad upper management. So he's coming back to a team where he's like, "Okay,
I hear all
they
that.
didn't want me to go.
But the very
I
first thing
wanted
you
to
just
go."
said is, "I
Oh,
want to go."
that's fair. That's fair. I'll back off my last suggestion if
Because
it
Dalton
went down
Knecht
that
did
way.
not want to go. Like he just went.
I hear what you're saying, but if he went to them in the first place and said, even if it was done with respect and even if it was done in coordination with the brass of the Raiders, the reason we did it in the first place is, hey, listen, man, I don't want to be here anymore. That hasn't changed. Like, he still doesn't want to be there.
No, wait a minute.
You can look at what they've done.
I would say it changed since he left because they're getting better.
Yep.
All the things he wanted to have happen,
Nakobe
they're
Dean.
happening now. So
I was told they were getting better last offseason.
Well,
And the
I
one
like
before
these
that,
moves.
and the one before
Okay.
that,
I
and
like
the one
if you
before
get
that.
Mendoza, if you get
Those
Greg
were-
told me they were getting better going with
Because
Pete Carroll
that's your
going
problem.
into
I'm
last
a
season.
delusional
Scott
Raider
Kaplan
fan.
agreed with that, too.
This is different. This feels very, very different from all those other years because they did it the right way. They kept the cap space.
This time's
they
different.
actually
This
lost.
is tough.
He's right.
Tanked
This
to get
time's
to
different.
No,
I don't
because
know.
every other year they would win games. They beat Kansas City on Christmas.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years. But they lost out
That
on the
was
number
2
one
years
overall
ago.
pick because of those types.
You know
of
what
things.
this feels
They would
like,
win
Trudell?
late games.
It feels like when we used to say, if Vando can just get healthy.
No.
Well,
Oh, my
what
God.
it feels like is that
I love
this
how
is
you keep
what
throwing Lakers
I try to
shade
talk
at him.
myself.
I'm just throwing chum at him.
This is right, and to avoid that, this is why I'm bringing up the Vikings because
Okay.
as somebody who roots for a good team that can never be great, it's like you're trying to be a bad team that can never be good. And so I have to talk myself into them having an actual shot every year, and then they don't. And you have to talk to yourself.
But the Raiders have won 3 Super Bowls. The Vikings haven't it.
No, that's true. But I'm saying in recent history, the Raiders have just been bad. The Vikings have been good, but never good enough.
No.
And both of us have to delude ourselves going into every season that this is the time things will finally change, and and for me, we'll finally contend, which I don't really believe because I've been beaten down.
Right, it's the exact same
Kyler
thing. But I
Murray's
think
coming to save you.
For $1 million, it's fine. I would have preferred to give Malik Willis. What do you end up getting? Like 67,
45 guaranteed.
30,
yeah.
Or I thought it was less guaranteed, but
I thought it was 45 up guaranteed. Yeah.
But like I was like, that sounds. I'd
worry,
be a
he's
little
coming
bit
to
excited
Minnesota.
about that.
Here comes Kyler on his little scooter.
At least he's free.
I'm here for spring training.
The
training camp.
Xbox on his back.
Wow.
Yeah, coming in.
Do your voice.
Ready to
Your
go.
messy voice should be a Kyler Murray voice.
I need to workshop the
Yeah.
Kyler Murray voice, but
You
if
do.
they're cousins at least.
Yeah, exactly.
I come up with some sort of tweak on it, but I keep coming back to the Raiders. If it walks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's a duck, right?
Quack.
And the Raiders will find a way to blow this. They will find a way.
Bad luck will find them.
That when everything always goes wrong, maybe it's you. If
I know what it
everywhere you
is.
go, it smells like crap, it's probably you. And this is another example of them even doing a thing that felt really good in the moment, still blew back on him. And they didn't even do anything wrong.
No, they did everything right, too. It's so frustrating. But I do think that there's still a lot to be happy about where it comes to the Raiders. And I think Crosby, to your point, DeMarco, can make it all work. If he this could be that motivation. See, now I'm going back into old school Raider fan, just trying to figure it out for myself.
Greg, let me help you. I feel like the therapist
I still
in
like what they're
Goodwill
doing.
Hunting. It's not your fault.
Well,
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
they
be all
they
right.
did the right things.
Got to go see a man about a girl.
And he can fix it. Exactly.
Oh,